about Bell Lifestyle products. And so we started talking about the products that we use. And of course, as a sponsor of the studio, sponsor of the show, we're happy to say that it is Bell Lifestyle products celebrating their 25th anniversary, which, hey, look, in this day and age, the fact that you can be around for 25 years is nothing to sneeze at. And certainly when you have the reputation they have built in that time, to me, that's how I look at this company, is just what, and as Dave mentioned beforehand, you go into a place of business, not necessarily promoting or letting them know what we do and what the association is and asking about Bell and the things that they say. It's the things that they say. It's one of the reasons our good friend Tim Allen, he had gone into a doctor's office to talk about some issue. The doctor is the one that brought up Bell Lifestyle products. What was he supposed to know? It is by word of mouth that people are going to tell you without bias on what they think of that product. And the reputation is excellent. There's a reason why they're celebrating 25 years today. So we are going to start talking with our friend, and I don't mind telling you, ladies and gentlemen, from Victoria, BC, where it is now 5:41 Pacific time, Tim Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Allen.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
You're just killing me.
Now,
Yeah, I think I've been awake all night. I don't think I slept. I was so excited to get up and join you on the show. This is sort of like,
like you're just getting up. Just so you know, folks, he hasn't been to bed. There's stuff going on there. You don't know the half of it. Now, Angela is joining us for the first time ever. You've not been on the show before.
I have not. No.
So is this exciting or is it scary? What is it for you? Are you okay with this?
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yes.
Well, we're thrilled to have you guys on this morning. As I said, our association has been fantastic, and it's very easy to do. When you start talking about the guests that we've had on, the products that we've talked about, I think Dave and I basically use them all. And so 25 years. When you go back, when Nick first started this, I wonder if he ever thought, or the family ever thought, that it would turn into what it turned into. I mean, pretty interesting guy though, right? When you talk about Nick.
Yeah, really. It's interesting. On Friday, I ended up on a call with a gentleman named David Goulding, and David and I have known each other for several years now. And David has been in the natural health industry most of his career, probably getting close to 40 years. And if he's listening, he'll be grimacing perhaps, but he knew Nick from the very beginning, and told me about the way the business got started, probably as well as the children could be telling us the way that the business got started. And not unlike a lot of other businesses that get rolling, somebody's got an idea, they develop a passion around it, they got perseverance that is incredible, and away they go, and there's no stopping them. And David was talking about the first product, which I think some of the listeners know is the shark cartilage product for joint relief. We call it product number 1. And Nick had tried this product because he'd been suffering with arthritis, couldn't get relief. He tried lots of different therapies, and shark cartilage seemed to work. And at that time, it wasn't being marketed for joint health specifically, but he had heard and read some information about it and the benefits of it. And one of his employees actually at the time had suggested it, so he got on board. And once he started taking this, he found a product in the market and he started taking it. And then he decided he wanted to commercialize the opportunity around joint health. So he ended up contacting David, who at the time was working for a company called Purity Life, which is a huge distributor within the natural health segment. And David ended up getting involved, and he remembers when finally he got Nick connected to a supplier of the raw materials and manufacturing. And Nick, I guess he moved forward and made 1,000 bottles that he had to start to market. But David said it had the worst label, the worst packaging. And he said to David, he says, will you help me get this going, get it into some stores? And David said, oh yeah, I'd love to help you, send me some products. So when he received it, he was like, gulp. How do I tell the guy that I can't sell this? And he was telling me about going out to one of the stores in Toronto. And the guy that was working in the store at the time looked at him and said, are you kidding me? I can't put that on the shelf. Are you kidding me? So David, he went back to Nick and he says, Nick, I think you got a great product, but I think you got to do some work on the packaging. And Nick says, well, what do you want me to do? So David gave him some suggestions, and Nick took it and ran with it. And the next thing you know, he came back and he says, David, I'll send you another sample. He sent out a sample. David got it, was much improved. David said, I can work with this. And, and these are the types of stories that you get when these businesses get started. So yeah, it's roughly 25 years ago that he started down this path. And I think I told the story when we first got together that at the time I think he was turning 65 years old. So here he is starting a brand new business at 65 years old. Kind of the Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel Sanders story in a lot of ways. But this what happened. It's interesting as we go through the game of life. I think often about a grandfather of mine and decided to build a golf course when he was 60 years old. So where's this inspiration come from? But it comes along and this is what happens. So yeah, the company's been rolling along for 25 years. It started out slowly and started to build. Nick was an incredible promoter. I would have liked to have met him. I didn't get the chance to. I've met several different guys over the years that are similar. I can kind of imagine him. I'd seen his picture around and I'd heard about him. And he took a very unusual way to build the business. And in fact, David Goulding, when we were speaking, he said, oh yeah, he says, Nick started out in the German language publications. So that's really where he started, within the German community, and got the thing rolling.
Yeah, right out of the playbook of when you take business at Harvard, isn't that what they say? You start with the German papers.
Yeah, it's what a business
it's an
case
awesome
it really
story,
is.
though. Yeah,
It is, and you guys are talking about some of the products you're taking, and I find the same thing. I got to be careful. I'm going to be like Nick. I'm going to have a fish bowl filled full of pills and powders that I'll be taking. You start with your joints, and you get it for your eyesight, you get it for energy, you get it for immune, you get it for your prostate. And I think you were referring to that story because that was my doctor. Yeah, getting into that age zone and having those conversations. But not only is it about getting the business up and rolling and getting these great products going, but at the end of the day, you can't do it by yourself. You need to develop a team. You need to get people on board. And that's one of the reasons why I say, come on, Angela, you're going to join me on the show, because for me, it's really important, the cast of characters, so to speak, but it's important to have a recognition for the people that have been on. We've had other staff members join you for the show. We've had some of our customers join. We've had spokespeople from the industry join. And it's really all about the people. And in the case with Angela, she's our sales manager. She joined the company roughly 3 years ago. She's celebrating 3 years here.
That's
and
right.
she joined the company as an account manager. She was handling the Greater Toronto area and East. And so after a year and a half in, we need more responsibility in the sales management area. So I asked her to step up, and she did, and I'm thankful she did. Not unlike Doug Carey, who you've met before in the program. He came on board, and he's been doing the marketing side. We've got fabulous woman in our regulatory side. We've got a team supporting Doug on the marketing side. We've got a naturopath on staff. We've got product development taking place. We've got graphics, and we've got digital marketing. On the sales side, we've got a team across the country, and on the inside, we've got fantastic people everywhere within the business. We got a team in Michigan in our U.S. office that's handling the purchasing for us and the quality aspect of the business. We've got lots and lots of resources, and it's changed an awful lot in the last few years. It's continued to grow, so it's really great.
So Angela, what drew you to Bell Lifestyles? You've been with the company for 3 years, but obviously, when you apply for a job or seek a job, you also want that commitment from both ends. And what made you interested, and what was your interest in Bell Lifestyles to hold the job and obviously do well at it as well?
Yeah. Well, I had known Tim from within the industry, and so I wanted to work a little more closely with him, which is one of the things that kind of gave me the push to come to Bell. But I love the fact that it was a family-owned company. It was a small company. I have a lot of prior experience with large corporations. And so I like the fact that, I felt that the company needed a little more revamping and things like that. And so that's really what drew me, was that I thought, here I can give my suggestions and opinions and what I see in the marketplace. And because I've dealt with the retailers, I've seen, what's going on in the stores, and I've spoken to the store owners themselves. So I felt that I, could really help the company to develop and grow.
Well, it's funny you mentioned packaging. I think the logo itself and the actual colors, the color schemes, it really stands out. Very simple, but it's really well done. That's got to be, Angela, something that, when you're going to sell a product, when you have to, regardless of what's inside that bottle, boy, it better look good. And that's easier said than done, because, there are a lot of products. I mean, even if, by example, you go into any health food store, if you were going to a nutrition house, or for a lot of people, you go into Shoppers Drug Mart, you look down that aisle. There's a lot of colors and schemes in there. You could walk by something if it doesn't stand out, and that color, the darker color of the green, it works. So that's got to be a big part of, quite honestly, trying to move product.
Absolutely, because consumers are drawn to visual, right? So yeah, it's always a fine line, because if you go too leading edge, then you might turn away some of your consumers. And if you're, seen as or you're perceived as an older brand, then that may also turn away a lot of consumers. So one thing that I am, very proud of for Bell is the fact that I hear all the time that we have a lot of consumer loyalty. So customers that use our products remain using our products because they work. And that's really something to be proud of.
The clear bottle itself, Tim, that we talked about a month ago, that was a completely different packaging. Is that going to be something that is exclusive to clear, or is that something that maybe eventually Bell products will look like that? Because it does stick out. It does stick out compared to other Bell products. But I'm just wondering, the transition of logos, are we looking at anything like this, or are we going to keep what is working right now for the company?
It's interesting, because the current packaging we have on the bulk of the line is coming up around 4 years old, and typically packaged goods, somewhere around 5 years, plus or minus, start to tweak, start to make some changes. We're in the process going through a strategic overview and look at the brand position, which is going to drive packaging and communication. So currently, as you know, the majority of products are marketed as a bottle inside of a box. And we have to be sensitive to consumers today looking to reduce packaging. And that means we need to move forward where we consider dropping the use of the box or other types of packaging. In the case with the Clear Omega specifically, Doug and his team were working on it, and we approached it from a slightly different perspective, because we believe that, Clear Omega could be used more significantly in other products as a delivery base. So it is a fish oil, anchovy oil, and it can be used as a delivery for multiple vitamins. We have a heart product that's in development right now, for example, and it's going to be the delivery mechanism for that, meaning that the ingredients will be working in conjunction with the oil. So going down that path, he talked about setting it up as a sub-brand. And we're doing experiments all the time. It's kind of like Nick coming out with that first type of packaging. Obviously, he didn't go to consumer focus groups and say, "Hey, what do you think?" And we didn't necessarily do that either, but we did. We went through and talked to some professionals, and we mocked up the packaging, we put it to the shelf, we had a look at it. We know that it looks different than the lineup, but we wanted to try something that was a little bit different. So if you think about it, the majority of our products as well are condition specific. This particular product is not necessarily condition specific, but using it as a sub-brand just made some sense at this time.
Well, as I said, the products are amazing. In fact, in our household, I can't believe this was even a discussion. A discussion about zinc.
Yes.
What are we doing? What is this at the dinner table? No, it wasn't about the 49ers collapsing. It wasn't about the Blue Jays going on a huge run. It wasn't about where the Leafs are going to make the playoffs. It was zinc. This is what Tim Allen has done to my family. In fact, Jordan said the other day, "Is Tim back yet?" He just left. My son wants to know where Tim Allen is. What has happened? What's happened to my household, Angela? It's crazy. Look, I know we got to run. We're up against the clock. But 25 years is again a great landmark. It's a great milestone to hit. It's not surprising because there's going to be a lot more of this on sensational products that continue to come out here that are very well thought out and very well respected, not only in this business, but certainly the health food and the natural health product community. So congratulations on that. So glad that you joined us, Tim. Thanks for getting up extra early. I appreciate Angela. Nice to have you on the show for the first time. We'll have to do this again, but we really appreciate it. And of course, we love our association with Bella. It's been fantastic for us. So thank you so much for this morning. Really appreciate it.
Thank you guys. Really
Thank you
appreciate it.
guys.
Have a great day. All right.